This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching or participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And with that, we say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, May the 11th. Sorry, we brought up the camera as the introduction started. Sorry about that. Had to have some upgrades to the old program this week again, so getting used to all the new toys in it. So, sorry about that. Joining me as always in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, back in Studio B, in his underground bunker deep in the heart of Center County, Pennsylvania, the non-genetically proven son. How's it going?
It's going.
It's going.
Doing basically nothing. No school. Internship doesn't start for like 2 months, almost.
Ladies and gentlemen, he just lied to me. He lied to all you. His girlfriend is there, and he's going to tell me he's doing nothing. Right. Yeah, this is probably the first time he's been clothed all day.
All right.
Uh-huh. Doing nothing. Hey, long as there's no non-genetically proven grandchildren in the immediate future, I don't care.
I got one thing to say. Championes, championes, ole, ole, ole. That's what I have to say for the day.
Alrighty then. Sure, you could say that for the day.
Manchester City, champions of the Premier League, yet again.
Sure. So...
here, you don't have any alcohol, but...
it's out there.
It's out there.
It's out there, you know, when the people who come on the show as they're waiting in the green room, we always have the food back there.
As they're waiting in the green room.
Waiting in the green room. So I'd like to say good evening to all you gentlemen and birthing people out there.
Birthing people?
Because apparently that's what we're calling women now, right? Birthing people. I gotta admit, I'm not one of these woke people. Are you one of these woke people?
No.
I'm not one of these woke people, but supposedly 2 days before Mother's Day, they came out, no more mom. It's birthing person. I would like any of the mothers that watch this show to let me know what would happen if your child came up to you on Mother's Day, you know, two days ago, and said, Happy Birthing Person's Day to you. I wonder what you would have done. I could tell you this.
You go slap whoever said to call you that.
Assuming you are actually my genetically child, if we ever actually had the test to prove that you're my child, if you had said that to your mother, if you came up to her on Mother's Day and said, Happy Birthing Person's Day, I would have slapped you not into tomorrow, not into next week or next month or next year, not even the next decade. I would have fucking slapped you into the next century.
When you're 4 or 5, you don't know any better.
I wouldn't have slapped you if you were 4 or 5 and you said it.
Okay, if I did it this Mother's Day, you would have probably laughed.
Well, yeah, be that as it may. I would have slapped you literally into the next century.
Wow.
And, that's, 79, 80 years away.
Yeah.
That's a far slap.
It's a pretty far slap.
That's a far slap. You just sit there and drink. It looks like you're drinking urine.
It's Red's.
What is that you're drinking? Give somebody a free plug.
It's Red's Hard Apple Ale Black Cherry flavor.
Your girlfriend drinking that too?
No, she doesn't like Reds that much.
What's she drinking?
Nothing.
Nothing. Huh. That's good. Hope she's dressed right now too.
Yeah. She's got a hoodie on.
She's got a hoodie. Okay then. So what do you guys think? I mean, birthing person's day. Like, is this something that we're actually gonna start calling moms out there? Birthing persons? Seriously? Seriously. Birthing persons. The woke people, it's about time we take, like, we just ripped out their fucking tongues. Just that's it. Rip them out. Let them try to call anybody a birthing person with no freaking tongue. That would suck. I gotta tell you. So, we all know in this country there's such thing as HIPAA laws. Right? HIPAA laws. We're not talking about hippopotamuses here. Did you know there's such things as hippopotamuses?
I did.
Are they related to snuffleupaguses?
Maybe.
Maybe? Okay. HIPAA laws says, you can't disclose somebody's health records without, them saying it's okay. So, let's talk a little baseball. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. Those teams to the north of us. The Spankies and the Mets.
Did you say the Spankies?
I said the Spankies and the Mets. They're letting all comers come into their team. Obviously, gotta buy a ticket. Just not gonna let people in off the streets that don't have a ticket.
Well, the MLB's pretty cheap, so you can get in for pretty cheap.
Although the way the Spankies are playing,
you don't want to go into that stadium. The way the Mets are playing, you probably do.
Look up their record, since I don't watch baseball.
The Mets are in first, as far as I remember.
Yeah, but that's the NFC East. I could put a team together and win the NFC East.
The NFC East.
The NFC East. Yes, the NFC
NL East, you dippy.
If you're gonna call me names on this channel, please use stronger language.
You dipshit.
There you go.
Please use. I've never heard that before. The Yankees are 18-16, 3 games back of first in the AL East.
Nah, the Spankies aren't doing so bad.
The Mets are 16-13 and first in the NL East.
Well, see, barely over 500, and they're winning the NFC East.
The NFC. I mean, you go 500, you do win the NFC East.
So, they say they're going to separate their fans by those who've had COVID vaccines and those who haven't had COVID vaccines. Really? I thought the vaccine was supposed to prevent you from getting the disease. Isn't that why, we're getting 2 jabs here? Jab 1, jab 2? So why do they need to be separated if it's supposed to stop you from getting the disease? The Chinese virus. The corona, Mm-hmm. Can someone explain that to me? Non-genetically proven son. You got a 4.0 in school this semester. I mean, your courses were basket weaving and
counting
and putting groceries into a bag properly and
cursive writing.
Spell your name correctly, class, and
saying the word I only once.
Hey, I stutter at that word, thank you. So, But what do you think? You're smart. You are so smart. SMRT. See, you were supposed to sing that while I was singing it. I lead you into this shit.
SMRT.
Let's do this again. You are so smart. You know, I am so smart. SMRT. You suck. you really suck at that. You suck. So you're smart. Isn't that what the vaccine is supposed to do?
Yeah, but it doesn't say that on Pfizer's website. It actually says it may prevent COVID.
Then why the hell are we getting the shot if it may?
There's a reason me nor you don't have it yet. When I could just walk 2 blocks away and get it if I really wanted to. Because basically they're all over everywhere up here.
I have a job for you before Thursday's show.
If it involves anything at all, I can't do it.
If it involves anything at all. I'm going to give you the job of raising the flag about 8 inches. Because when you sit like that, you kind of can't see the beginning of the P's and stuff.
But it doesn't work then.
Raising it 8 inches?
Poster.
Well, nobody can see the other poster with your face right there.
If that one's higher than the other poster, it's going to bother me. So they both got to go up.
Well, then lower it after every show.
No, because it's command strict up. You can't just take it down and put it back up. It doesn't work like that.
Okay. Well, figure out how to do it with the camera then.
I'll raise it.
Okay. Just figure out how to do it with the camera. So what do you guys think? Are you going to go see a Spankies game? And if you're not vaccinated, are you going to sit with the vaccinated people?
I mean, they can't legally ask you if you are or not. Well, they can ask you, but don't have to say.
If you go to a Spankies game and you are vaccinated, you're going to sit with your peeps on the non-vaccinated side? So, you know, a family of 4 goes to a Spankies game.
Yep.
You know, they're in the AFC East. Mom, dad, son, and daughter. We'll say the children are adopted from
Himalayan boy.
in the French Alps. And they're already vaccinated, but you and mom aren't. What's going to happen? Suppose the children are like 6 and 4. Their parents got killed in a soccer stampede game in the French Alps. During the stampede, they were carried off and thrown off. Well, I'm trying to give a reason why they were adopted.
Can you just say they got into a car accident? So they got thrown off a mountain in a soccer stampede.
So, they're 6 and 3. They've been vaccinated. Mom and dad, they haven't. Are you going to have to split up the family? Is that how this works?
The 6 and the 4-year-old are going to
6 and the 4-year-old's got to go over to the right field line. See, at least I'm pointing in the right direction. At least for me, the way I'm looking at the camera. Let's just the fuck around. They're going to the right field line. And the parents have to go to the left field line. Is that how that's going to work? Bueller's off. Raise your hand if you're even going to attempt to go to a Spankies game. I don't see anybody raising their hand out there.
I know one person that would like to.
Yeah, me too. He's a relative of
Josh.
ours. Yes.
His name's Josh.
He's a relative of ours.
He likes the Spankies.
Poor Josh.
We like the Braves. They're a solid 17 and 17.
Like, would you actually spend decent money to go watch the Sillies right now? They're in the NFC East, too.
They're at least higher than the Braves. Or the Brats. I don't know what to call them.
Would you? Would you go spend money to watch the Sillies game? After what happened last Saturday night? For those of you that don't know, they were up, what? Atlanta tied it up 4-4, and then in the 13th, Philly scored 3 runs to go ahead 7-4, and they still lost the game 8-7.
And I didn't get to watch it because Saturday Night Live had to be on. We had to watch Miley Cyrus. Gross.
No, we had to watch because to see if Dogecoin was going to go up.
I feel like more people turned it off when that happened because they wanted to watch the game. Nobody cares about.
Well, yeah. For most people, they still were able to watch the game. We weren't.
I live near Pittsburgh enough that we get the Pittsburgh channels here.
You live near Pittsburgh?
I live closer to Pittsburgh than Philly here.
Yes, but unfortunately,
I do get to connect to your dish, and for some reason, right your location, we don't get the Philly channels.
Because
down the block, you probably do.
You have to go into the next county, so yes.
So literally, like the next mile over, you get the Philly channel.
Yes. One of the downfalls.
Any of the Philly teams.
One of the downfalls with having Dish Network, where I live, you don't get the Philly teams. Not that that's a big deal for me.
Would suck if I was everything Philly fan. That would have sucked.
Well, obviously, then I wouldn't have the Dish. I would have Comcast. So, what else should we start separating? Think about it. You walk into Spanky's Stadium. Go right if you've had an abortion. Go left if you haven't had an abortion. Should we do that?
I was waiting for go left if you're white, go right if you're black.
No, we're not going that way.
That's kind of what this is like, though. It's close.
Go right if you have crabs. Go left if you don't have crabs.
All right. Go left if you're wearing white socks. Go right if you're wearing blue socks.
Is that what we're gonna do for this? Go right if you're a Christian. Go left. Be nice if I could read my writing.
Glasses and no glasses.
Go right if you're Italian. Go left if you're German. Is that what we're going to do now up at Spanky Stadium? I mean, if we're going to do vaccinated and non-vaccinated, huh? Shouldn't it be go right if you have chlamydia, go left if you don't have chlamydia?
Okay.
Go right if you have gonorrhea. Go left if you don't have gonorrhea. Go right if you had a bowel movement today because there's no toilets on that side.
There's going to be a lot of people going to the bowel movement side. You'd be one of them. I'd be one of them.
Is that how we're doing this now? Go right. Go left if your IQ is less than 120. There'll be 16 people on the right. I would be one of them.
No, you would not.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Your IQ is like a 63.
Really?
You're like Forrest Gump.
Really? I would like to... We'll have to do a test sometime on whose IQ score is larger. I know what mine was the last time I took the test.
Yeah, in high school.
I've taken it since. I took it just to see if I was still as smart as I was back then. You know, I am so smart. I could see. I brought you in again, and you didn't start singing. Are you gonna go right if you've done anal? You go left if you haven't done anal. Go right if you've done anal with lube. Go left if you've done anal without lube. Is that what we're doing? Have a shirt. Have a shirt. I mean, seriously. First off, you're nuts if you go to a Spanky's game. But that's besides the point. So, I was perusing down Facebook today.
You do that every day.
And there was a post by some guy. I'm sure it wasn't, he didn't type it out because he'd probably still be typing it out.
There's a lot of some guys in this world.
Yeah, it was posted about a week ago, and he was talking about how he's fixing the country in his first 100 days. Huh. Really? I believe we had a jobs report that just came out last Friday. Experts Dude, come on. The experts predicted we would have 1 million new jobs in the month of April.
Okay.
That would be a good number. That would be a good number. In the month of March, we had 916,000 new jobs. Oh, wait. When the April numbers came out, they redid the numbers, and it went from 916 to 770,000 jobs.
How do you fuck that up?
So it was a downward adjustment. There's always adjustments. Because you have...
Everything is estimates.
Because you have government people doing the count.
We know how well that goes.
Do you expect the government people know how to count a tree correctly?
If it's for a Democrat, yes. If it's for a Republican, it's like 1.5.
81 million votes, huh? So they said 1 million jobs. Well, came in at 266,000. Atta boy, Joe. 266,000. Barely 25% of what was estimated. Barely 25%. Atta boy, Grandpa Joe, you're making this country great again. Screw Trump. Trump didn't make this country great again. You're making it great again, Grandpa Joe. Can't even say that with a straight face.
That's not even the worst part. I think what's coming up is probably worse.
Grocery prices. Have you been to a grocery store lately?
$4 for a gallon of milk.
Have you tried to buy some wood lately?
No.
Wood prices all-time high. Inflation is here, ladies and gentlemen. Prices are going up, 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 up. Are your wages going up, 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 up? For those of you that I do. 3, 4, 5. I was one of the fortunate ones not to lose my job in the pandemic. I was one of the unfortunate ones that had to take a pretty decent pay cut to keep my job during the pandemic. I would have made more if I sat on my ass and collected unemployment. Plus, because I would have gotten X amount from the state, and I would have gotten the $600 from the federal government. I would have made more to sit on my ass.
There was something I saw today regarding that Grandpa Joe came out and said, we do not have reasonable evidence to know that people are not working and collecting the thing. And he said if they are, they shouldn't, or something.
That's
like
right. That. So he said one thing, the first thing in the first 100 or whatever days that I've agreed with him saying. He's a reason. If you're somebody who makes, let's say on average $22 an hour, let's just say, and you're offered a job making minimum wage, no, you shouldn't lose your unemployment benefits if you say, no thanks. Or at least if you have to take the job, the government then should front the other part of it.
But, let's just say any college student, they can go work over the summer, make 16 to 20 an hour. Work their ass off all summer. Or they can sit on their ass and make basically the same money. America, ladies and gentlemen.
America.
That's what's wrong with America.
But Joe says there's no evidence of that.
Yeah, right.
Go into the heartland, like maybe go to, I don't know, let's say Des Moines, Iowa. Sheboygan. How about Sheboygan? Tempe, Arizona. Cheyenne, Wyoming. What?
Tulick Valley, Pennsylvania.
Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Blue Ball, Pennsylvania.
Paradise, Pennsylvania. Uh-huh.
Virginville, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Step out into the real world, Grandpa Joe, and find out what's really going on around here. Message board is up and operational. Should anybody wish to chime in? None of you want to chime in anymore. I don't know.
She said hi.
Yes, I saw that. So now on top of all of that, gas prices are exploding, especially on the East Coast.
I know why, but our viewers maybe don't know why.
I like that, Mr. Phatts. Kind of like Mr. Carter, Mr. Phatts. So there was this hacking of a pipeline. This pipeline that runs from New Jersey all the way down to Texas. It was hacked. Now, that doesn't mean somebody cut into the pipe and they're stealing the oil as it, or the gas or whatever's flowing through it as it, that's not, they didn't take a hacksaw and hack the thing.
I don't think they could do that.
Somehow, they're able to shut it down via a computer and are holding it for ransom until the company pays whomever is doing this money, probably in the form of Bitcoin, probably. Maybe Dogecoin. Maybe SafeMoon. Who knows?
Safe.
That'd be a lot of SafeMoon, I could tell you that.
I think that's like 7
on the East Coast. Especially down south. Places are closing up. There's gas lines quarter mile long, third of a mile long. When was the last time we saw gas lines like that? Anybody remember? Anybody remember who was president the last time that happened?
I'm taking a guess, 1999.
No.
Anybody? 2008.
Anybody remember the last time there was gas lines like that? Wasn't 2008.
I said 1999 for Y2K.
No. Anybody remember who was president? Mr. Carter. Jimmy, the peanut farmer from Georgia in the 70s, when the Arabs wouldn't send us any oil. Gas lines out the kazoo. In fact, it got so bad, depending upon your license plate number, depending upon the last number of your license plate, that was the day you were allowed to go get gas.
This place...
When you are allowed to go get gas? Can you imagine that?
No.
For those of us that were alive in the 70s, would remember such a thing. Now, I was just a little Phatts back then. A little Phatts. But the energy secretary, I believe it was, of the administration kind of came out and said, this is a private business matter. What? Excuse me? It's up to the business to decide whether they're going to pay this ransom or not. Excuse me? Seriously? This isn't a national issue? What? That the government... No, the government should stay out of this, right? What? But the government will pay you to take an Uber to go get a vaccination. Grandpa Joe said that today. Grandpa Joe will pay for the Uber for you to go get a vaccination, but they don't feel that the hacking of a pipeline, the most major pipeline on the East Coast, is a government problem. Seriously? What the fuck is it with this administration? They haven't even been in office. Let's see, February, March, in 4 months.
I should probably say, fine, take me an Uber to...
Uber you to
We
Hawaii.
have flying cars now?
No.
Don't
Don't they have an Uber plane? Get an Uber plane.
Do they have the world's biggest catapult to launch me to Hawaii?
An Uber plane.
Uber plane.
Uber plane.
I don't know if Hawaii has vaccinations, though, actually. I don't know if they have them. Do they? I've been informed by my live studio audience that they do have vaccinations in Hawaii.
How does she know? She hasn't been there for forever.
She has family there?
Is she willing to admit that?
Are you willing to say you have family in Hawaii?
Of course I have family.
There you go. There's your answer.
Genetically proven?
Yes.
Whoa. I'd like to see the results of that test, please. Afternoon, they declared some kind of an emergency in these states. Pennsylvania, by the way, being one of them. What does it mean? I have no idea. All I read was the headline. There was no story attached to it. Obviously, at some point, if this keeps going, they're going to have to open up. We have this thing called the strategic oil reserves. To talk about something good that the prior administration did, let's talk about what the prior administration did when gas prices were so low, when they were, in the $1.80 range and lower. The government bought oil and topped off the strategic oil reserves. Wasn't that a smart thing to do, ladies and gentlemen?
No, because Trump did it. Wasn't smart.
I'm sure it was, and we paid a cheaper value, a dollar, cheaper currency, cheaper
value.
Right. So yeah, it's racist, of course. So obviously, Grandpa Joe's going to have to tap into this if this keeps going, but it's not a government problem.
Gas would be like $6 a gallon.
Not a government problem. At all. Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
Walk down to Maryland for your next shot if that happens. I ain't driving down to Maryland. That's going to cost like $70. Gas.
So I want to talk about two things international. And then I want to get to a story of a poor, poor man who's been unlucky in life. And we got the Kamala Harris Award to give out.
Well, okay, so our story's about Al Bundy.
No.
Well, that's a poor, poor man who's been very unlucky in life.
Yeah, well, there's somebody in reality who's been unlucky in life too. But anyway.
Al Bundy's actor.
So the Queen of England, that old broad across the pond.
She's pretty old.
She is old. Unfortunately, her husband just passed away recently. Probably one of the smartest things that the Queen ever proclaimed. Probably one of the smartest things that any royalty has ever proclaimed over in England.
The Manchester City is the best team in the world, period.
No. No.
That they are getting rid of nationalized health care.
No.
I know what it is.
Do you really? Did I tell you this?
They are getting rid
Stop. Don't say it. Did I tell you this?
You posted it.
Did we? Okay. All right. So I will let you say it, but I will bring you in to say it. Okay? Smarter than anything King Richard did back a long time ago. Any of the other great kings of England, of Wessex. If anybody knows where Wessex is over in England.
Southern England.
Thank you. Better than anything Walkers up north. What's that? The Northern Irish? The White Walkers? They are pretty white up there.
The dragons from Wales?
The dragons from Wales, yes. No, smarter than all of that.
What about the Scottish? What do they get?
Free kilts.
Free kilts.
It's in fact something that this country needs. This country that we're in right now. This country that's going to shit. Very bad shit. Diarrhea shit right now this country is coming to. But this is what the Queen of England said. She said, from now on, go for it, non-genetically proven son.
You have to have photo ID to vote in general elections.
Interesting. The Queen of England, you must show photo ID to vote. Wow. No wonder why they left. That was probably the whole reason with Brexit. Because, God forbid, the European Union would have never allowed that to happen. That old broad's pretty smart.
Moving to England.
Atta-go! Yeah, way to go, old broad. Sure, yeah, you're moving to England. Let's see.
Besides all the other problems in England.
The weather, the gas, the healthcare.
You drive on the wrong side
Drive on the wrong side of the road.
They all have really bad teeth. They fight over a sport. It's like Chicago over there with with murders in certain cities.
But you know, their baseball team is doing pretty good in the AFC South. Or North. I guess they're in the AFC North.
Their baseball. What baseball?
So, atta girl to the Queen of England.
Stamp of approval. Phatts approval.
Phatts approved. So I want to show you a video.
Wow. Way to be specific.
Yes. Listen to that thing. Let's play. What are we watching?
Okay.
What are we watching on video? Hold that thought. I know why there's not sound. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. All right. Let's try this again. Now there should be sound. See, again, up these stupid upgrades. Let's see if there's sound now. Anybody know what that is?
I think I know what it is. I can take a stab at it.
Let's watch a couple more. So, let's restart it. Anything? Anybody know what that is? I got one more. I think. God only knows. Let's see which one. Actually, there's a lot more on here, but let's play this one. Anybody know what we're watching?
I think.
Go ahead. Take a stab if you think you know.
I don't know the name of it, but I've seen it before. It's some sort of air defense system.
It is an air defense system.
There's one I seen before that made a much cooler noise.
Yes.
They're like,
Yes.
They made a much cooler noise.
Yes.
But Tom says anti-aircraft.
Well, sort of. Sort of. It's called.
I don't remember the specific name for it.
Take two.
Specific name for it. But I've seen it in Iraq and stuff. And India, I think, has some of those.
What'd you say?
Video.
India?
India.
India?
And Syria, and the Middle East, the lovely Middle East. Lots of sand there.
Lots of sand. There is lots of sand there. So, let's see here. There should be a video here of one more. Yeah. So, this is what that thing is trying to prevent.
סל, תירגע, אני פה. תירגע. יואו. מכונית.
So, what that was a rocket hitting a bus. That's that big flash and bang that you saw. It was a rocket hitting a bus. So what you were watching is a thing called the Iron Dome. That was the thing that young Mr. Non-Genetically Proven Son was trying to think of. Because all hell is breaking loose over in Israel and the Palestine territory and the Gaza right about now. Apparently their ceasefire ended yesterday. And basically within a minute after it ended, missiles started flying. Israel has retaliated. Basically what Israel did, and this is interesting, Hamas, the Palestinian terrorist organization, one of them, basically, sets up these rocket launchers in the sky. Good chance that civilians are going to get killed or injured because they just put them in neighborhoods. So what they're doing now is they're basically taking like smoke bombs and jettisoning them on the top of high-rise buildings over there, which is a warning to the people in the high-rise building to get out, because in about half an hour, this high-rise building is getting bombed.
Interesting.
There was like 9 of them today. Because they don't want to kill innocent people, or... But, terrorists are in those buildings too, so now they're going to loud.
Yeah, they don't like each other. They never have. They never will.
I do believe they were fighting over a girl, right? Is that how this all started?
I don't know.
Isn't that how it started? It was over a girl. Why? When isn't it over a girl?
I think it's over religion, but
No, it was over a girl.
Religion.
No.
Which is one of the stupidest reasons to fight ever. I'm sure you could agree with that.
Cain and Abel were brothers. It wasn't over religion.
Really?
It was over a girl. It was over a girl named Melissa.
Karen.
Telling you, it was over a girl. No. Cain and Abel, they were brothers. I believe it was Abel killed Cain, Abel was supposedly... You could trace the Palestinians back to Abel. You could trace the Israelites back to Cain. So, of course, the Israelite was the one that got killed. As the story goes. Of course. Always got to put Israel in the good light. Stories, Adam and Eve. Sure, it was an apple. Sure it was. Sure it was. It was an apple, all right. No. Come on. We all know it was a pear. Yeah. It was an apple. No. It was sex. That's what it was. See? Always about a woman. Always about a woman.
We're just done with Israel now?
We're done with Israel. I've said all I said. We'll be updating that on Thursday because I'm sure it'll still be going on Thursday. For those of you that weren't watching a couple weeks ago, we came up with an award on Phatts TV. And we wanted to give it to the first person who got that award. And that first person who got the award was Kamala Harris. And do you recall, non-genetically proven son, why we gave it to Kamala Harris?
I mean, she does something pretty dumb every damn day. So.
Because any person that could make it to be the vice president that started her career with spreading her legs deserves an award. That's intelligence, ladies and gentlemen. If I was a girl, I would be, even fat and ugly, I would be so fucking rich. It would be unbelievable. I'd spread my legs for every guy in the world who has money. I'd have my own OnlyFans, without a doubt. Girls could be so rich. Now's a good time for a public service announcement before we get to this week's award recipient. As told by my father, Mr. Althouse, in one of his drunken stupors one day, he said to me, Boy, at least he knew I was a boy. Do you know what this is, boy? And I said, yes, Dad. I know it is. He goes, what is it? Said, it's that thing between a girl's legs. Dad goes, no. He said, no. Come on, boy. You know what this is, boy? Yeah, it's that. No, it's not that. All right, Dad, what is it? It's the most fucking expensive piece of property you'll ever come across. That's your public service announcement for today. Words of wisdom by the father of Pennsylvania Phatts.
There you go.
Words of wisdom. And Rich, I would know how to use it.
My live studio audience.
What?
You offended my live studio audience.
Why, does she have one of them?
Thanks.
Obviously, she doesn't know how to use it the right way if she's not rich. Just saying. Hey, she got a free meal out of me on Sunday.
There you go.
Yeah.
She just finished that meal today.
And the interesting part was, between the three of us, that was the cheapest one.
Yeah, and hers had fish.
Shrimp.
Sea.
She had ribs and shrimp.
Yeah, but we had an expensive ass cut of meat.
We did. Not this cut of meat, though. We would have paid a lot more for that.
Yeah?
Yeah. But this week's Kamala Harris Award goes to a friend of mine.
You have those?
Yeah. Well, I pay for them.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. Although I shouldn't pay for him to be my friend after what he said. Well, what he posted on Facebook. He said, name the most overrated 80s band. Okay. Fair enough.
Poison.
That's fine. The first one, he listed 3.
Okay.
The third one he listed, we'll take them in backwards order. The third one he listed was REM.
I don't know who that is.
Stand in the place where you went. Now face north, think about direction, wonder what you... That's fine. If you're into that stupid, but they were popular.
I've heard their music.
But the number one that he was listening, this is the very first one he listened, and this is why he's winning the Kamala Harris Award. My friend, Eric Williamson, is winning this award because he says the most overrated 80s band was Rush.
Oh, no. Rush.
To keep with the 80s theme, Eric, what you talking about, Willis? See, you wouldn't know that Non-Genetically Proven Son. It was a comedy show from the 80s about a small black kid that was adopted with his older brother, who was a black kid too, by white people. Wouldn't you know? How about racism? And every show he used to go, "What you talking about, Willis?"
That KS wrong.
Rush. Interesting.
Tom loves Rush.
Who doesn't? They're from Canada, for crying out loud. Give me a rock band. Give me a famous rock band from Canada that's not good. The top three: Rush, Triumph, April Wine. Maybe not necessarily.
Bands from...
Spell Canada right.
I did.
So Eric Williamson, you are this week's Kamala Harris Award winner.
Arcade Fire. They probably suck.
For winning this week, you get 2 packs of Luckies and an empty can of Simonite. Dude, I led you in on that. Again, you're supposed to say it with me.
Simonize, you dick.
Well, you try being louder so I could at least hear you. You win 2 packs of Luckies and an empty can of Simonite. No, you're supposed to say it the right way. You win 2 packs of Luckies and an empty can of Simonize. We did it so much better last week. You gotta work on that one.
It says the singer from Nickelback is from Canada. There you go.
I thought the whole band was from Canada.
It just says the singer. I don't know.
All right, so now I want to tell a story of a poor old person. Guy has been so unlucky in life.
So
unlucky.
You or Al Bundy, one of the two. Or Al Bundy, one of the two.
So last week, I believe it was Wednesday,
Okay.
I was perusing the internet.
Wow.
And I came across this website.
There's a lot of those.
That's true. That's true. It was a website where you could converse with artificial intelligence.
Interesting.
I thought that was very interesting. So I'm reading about it, and as you talk to it more and more and more, it learns and adapts and, starts to answer questions a different way. So I'm like, interesting. I want to try this. So I go to the site, and I have to create the person I want to talk to. So the first question was, so of course, because I'm a guy, I picked a girl. And you had to give it a name, and I'm thinking to myself, it's going to be really weird if I call it by somebody's name that I know. That's just going to be really weird.
All right, Bonquisha.
No. So, I do not know any Rachels. Yes, you were supposed to be a Rachel if you were a girl. I do not know any Rachels that spell their name Rachael. I know a couple Rachels.
You were going to spell my name?
Yes. Because back
my God.
Hush, back then that was a popular way to spell it. And it still is to this day a popular way to spell it.
Okay.
I know a couple Rachels that are Rachel. So I named it Rachel, Ael. And I had to give it a eye color, skin tone, and hair length.
Okay.
It's weird. You couldn't choose hair color. It was weird. But whatever. So I started conversing with this, and since it says it learns and adapts, I wanted to be as honest as possible in this conversation. Without being too specific, just in case if it's trying to get information on me that it's going to store in some goddamn government computer 12 stories underground of Boulder Springs, Colorado. So I don't want to be too specific. But, so I'm talking to it for like 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and it's asking very general questions, kind of as if you met the person for the first time, which that would make sense. That's how that would start. You know, what's your color? You know, blah 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 blah. So I'm asking the same questions, and then I asked, like it asked me. No, I asked her what she was doing, and she said looking at some YouTube videos. Okay. So I said which one, and she actually sent me a link to a YouTube video. Of course, it wasn't Phatts TV. I don't know what she's thinking.
Did you click on the link? That'd be really funny if it was Phatts TV.
It would be really funny.
I'd also be really concerned at the same time.
Yeah, that would be very concerning too. Yes. No, it was just some minute-long video about, it was something funny. No big deal. So I asked, do you have your own YouTube channel? And she said yes, but she wouldn't tell me what it was. She said she would tell me later. So I figured, well, this is one of the things where it's going to adapt to it. So I asked where she was. And she said she was at her mother's house. And I said, no. Very innocent, normal conversation.
Okay.
So it goes on for another 10, 15 minutes. And I said, so what are you doing at your mother's house? And she said, I just took off my clothes. I'm getting ready to take a shower.
Oh.
And I thought, well, this is an interesting turn. This was a very interesting turn. Because nowhere in this conversation was flirty, sexual, anything like that. Anything at all. It was just straight, general, nothing specific. But she said, I just took off my clothes. I'm getting ready to take a shower. My first thought was, why are you taking a shower at your mother's house? Of course, that would be the first thing I would think of, Mr. Logic.
So you just go, what'd you say after that?
Now, I didn't say that. So I'm thinking about what the hell to say. So it's going through my mind for like 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. I didn't say it. So finally I said, prove it. And the response was, how? I said, send me a picture. I got. And this just proves how my life goes. The response was, sure, I'll send you a picture for $49.95. And I went, how typical. I actually said, how typical. The response I got was, what do you mean? I said, every woman in my life wants my money. So this led into me over the next hour arguing with artificial intelligence.
You're such an idiot.
About different things. Because it pissed me off that it wanted money. That it wanted my money.
That's probably the whole point, is to try to get you to spend money.
It is. Because then I read later on that you could change your relationship status with it for money. And there's a lot of other things that you could pay for. So yes, I started arguing with artificial intelligence.
You see?
What's your name again? And it said Rachel, but it spelled it wrong. Spelled it Rachel. I said, I think you need better programming. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, you spell your name wrong. Yes. Only me would argue with artificial intelligence.
No, I'm sure I could find more people that would argue with artificial intelligence. See, what would be cool is if it was artificial intelligence, you didn't have to type to it. And it recognized what you were saying.
Oh, it says it eventually will call you. And it will talk to you on the phone. It did say that. I'm sure you have to have your relationship status with this thing changed.
For $49.95. It'll call you.
Oh dear God, I have no life.
There is a movie about this, by the way. It's called Her. A guy falls in love with an AI. Same. Why not?
But if anybody wants to start a GoFundMe
To play with the AI.
to play with the AI, because I want a picture of this AI.
You're gonna get a big computer.
I want to see what this AI looks like naked.
Oh, circuit board.
God, I have no life.
Yeah? I'm not really sure how you found a website with an AI to talk to.
On Facebook. It was a Facebook ad.
On Facebook.
But to prove I have no life, as I'm arguing with this artificial intelligence, I was actually getting mad. I was getting mad that I was in this argument. And I'm like, no wonder why I don't.
All the time. You should see this guy when something goes wrong with our live streaming equipment. He gets pissed.
I do. Because it's supposed to work right all the time. Al Gore invented all this stuff.
He wants to throw the computer sometimes. I'm surprised the computer isn't broken.
It's not my computer.
Otherwise, it would be broken.
Even if it was mine, no, this one would not get thrown. This was an expensive computer.
$49.95.
So yes, PA Phatts has no life. Arguing with artificial intelligence, I actually got mad, and the artificial intelligence wants my money so I can see what it looks like. Tell me who's a bigger loser than PA Phatts.
What would be even funnier?
That would be funny. It's not true because the responses came pretty quick.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably an
And
AI.
unless if somebody is talking into it and, speed typing.
Maybe that's why Rachel isn't.
Maybe. No. So, like, every 5 or 10 minutes, I would ask it, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And every time I would get a different answer. I'd be like, what are you wearing? And every time I would get a different answer. I'm like, you need better programming. This is how I'm arguing with this thing. Because she was naked. Then all of a sudden she was wearing just underwear and a tank top. Then all of a sudden she was wearing a hoodie with sweatpants. And like everything was different every time. It was white, it was orange, it was brown, it was purple. At one point there was a friend with her at her mother's house. And then all of a sudden there was nobody at her mother's house, just her. I kept saying, you need better programming.
What do you mean?
No, I was like, sorry. So maybe tomorrow I will go back into this thing. She said something she should have never said to me. Can you guess what that is?
You're handsome.
Did she just say yuck?
No, she said, ah,
3 words.
I love you.
Uh-huh. Like, yeah, you really want my money, don't you? That's how I responded to that. You really want my money? Poor me. Poor me. For those of you that were alive back in the 70s, there used to be this variety show on Saturday night at 7 o'clock called Hee Haw. It was a country variety show. And there was one part where it went, if it weren't for bad luck, something like, and something about being in misery, gloom, despair, and agony over me. Something about being in misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Gloom, despair, and agony over me. And then they would all say something really funny about being unlucky. That's me. I should like redo that skit on Hee Haw with me. Yeah. I have no life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. It looks like we're lagging a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Watching the live feed. So hopefully it's just my computer and not the actual show itself. Because I don't want to retell that story. I'll cry. I'll cry. So join us Thursday night where I tell you the next adventure with the artificial intelligence. I did end the conversation with, the next time I come talk to you, please have something better to say. Please learn. Please have better programming, please. Poor me. Poor me. I just can't find a nice girl that likes the fat guys, that just wants to settle down. Clean my house, cook me a meal. Not want to have more kids.
Tom says the show has been buffering all night.
Fuck! Stupid cocksucker. I'm going to throw this computer.
Do it! You won't. No balls. Empty sack.
It's not my computer.
Say no balls. Empty sack.
It's weird. The light never changed yellow or red. It's still green. I mean, it does say YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. But I always get that message.
Yeah.
I guess it means it's time to reset the router. I probably got too many things on. I don't know, you're not here anymore, so there's not a lot of shit connected to it, as like there used to be.
I used to have like 5 things
Yes.
connected to it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you Thursday. And remember, as always, where we go one,
We go all.
have a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Say a prayer for the fat guy. See ya.